All right, guys, it's that time. We are live on Flip with Rick, and today I'm going to show you if you just dropped me in the wholesaling world and say, listen, you get $500 to get it done. How am I going to do it? And here's rule number one. I ain't going to hire a guru to do it because I'm never going to get past the $500 barrier. In fact, very few gurus would even show you how to do it. And I'm here to tell you, if you can find a deal within $500 or less, you'll probably be very good at wholesaling. So without further ado, let's get into it. If you guys have any questions or comments, put it in the comments and we will do lives. Just go over to Wholesaling Houses for Real, click the StreamYard link, and you are available for the live. So $500 to get your first deal, wholesaling deal in under 2 weeks. So we kind of have to do a blitzing approach here. No, I don't have time to go and pay that $5,000, $10,000 guru because, well, why would they do that? And so we have to figure out how to do it. So the first thing, you obviously know exactly where I'm going to point when this starts out, is you've got to get clear, precise instructions of stuff that actually works. So step number one, you're going to go over to freewholesaling.com. I've been over this, guys. I've had this out there for 4 years. It's not a trick. Oh my God, they're going to give you something for free and then they're going to pull it away from you. It's all there. I'm telling you, even out spending the $500, I can get you to your first deal. If you get it in 2 weeks, 2 months, or a year, that's up to you. But everything's there, not only to get your first deal, but get you to that first 100K. I've been doing this 21 years. Why am I giving you it away for free? Why? Because I'm tired of watching people struggle in wholesaling. I'm tired of the 95% failure rate with gurus. I'm tired of them blaming it for you. If you're willing to step up and do the work, you can kill it with this thing. Not only did I give you my 21 years experience, I gave you my son's 7.5 years of experience of wholesaling, and combined an old man and a young, smart kid. We are deadly. We also think family's number one. And I believe you tell the truth to people and you just bust your ass and you get rid of your excuses. You want to do that? Go to freewholesaling.com. That's requirement number one. Here's the really cool part. You haven't spent one nickel yet. Not one nickel. Usually you're 5 to 10 grand in the hole at this point. And then the next part is the guru says, you're going to have to invest in yourself and do a bunch of marketing. The problem is, I don't disagree with that. My disagreement is you can't do it from the beginning. Number one, when you're broke. And number two, if you don't know how to talk to sellers, you know nothing about marketing, and you don't know how to dispo a property, how are you going to get this done? So you have to go through this journey of wholesaling, and I'm here to show you exactly how to do it. So the first step, right here on the screen, freewholesaling.com. It is not a scam. It is 100% free. I know what you're thinking, like, why does Rick and Zach give away this information? It's absolutely nuts. Number one, I am a marathon wholesaler. I've never claimed to make the most money in wholesaling, but damn, do I sleep good at night. I love what I do. And happiness for me is not only defined by how much money I make. It's about how fulfilled I am in life. And wholesaling has let me do it. It has never been perfect, but like right now, I can do what I want. I can go fishing any day of the week. My business still runs perfectly and I love it. I don't report to an office. And if you want to sign up for something like that, that's how I got into wholesaling. So wholesaling.com, step number one. Step number two is you are going to go out and get as many government lists as possible. If you don't know which ones, just go over to freewholesaling.com. I'm going to give you a quick cheat sheet on which ones I want you to go after. I want you to go after the eviction lists, the pre-foreclosures, tax delinquencies, and the code violations. Those are the bare minimum. If you can't do those, I can't help you to get a deal in under 2 weeks. It is non-optional. You have to just go and get those. Listen, to overcome resistance with persistence, that's how you're going to attack these lists. There's no other way to do it. So government lists are always going to be there. Why? Because where there's smoke, there's fire. You're looking for fire. You got to find the smoke. They're on these lists. Don't kid yourself. Just because they're free doesn't mean they're easy. You're going to have to earn these lists. Go out and get them. freewholesaling.com. Now, the next one I'm going to have you do, and then we're going to get into the financials of, because we haven't spent one dime yet. freewholesaling.com, government lists. And now we're talking about driving for dollars. And one of my favorite lists, you just go out, you find ugly houses. Please don't buy a course on this. This is the biggest money grab I have ever seen in wholesaling. You don't need a course for driving for dollars. You just look for ugly houses, stuff with overgrown grass, boarded up windows, tarps on the roof, abandoned houses, knocked over mailboxes, and you collect it. You get that list, only you own that list. Nobody else owns that list. It's all you. And so if I look at a piece of real estate, I can either get a list, which I'm going to show you how to do it in this live, or you could go out and create your own list. And what I like about the Driving for Dollars list is you're looking at an area where you're very comfortable in investing, like blue collar neighborhoods, and you're visually looking at houses that have distress. That list has a much higher priority. In fact, a Driving for Dollars list will give you a 5 times return over any list that you buy off the internet or get through any type of software. If I took a list of 10,000, what I think potentially motivated sellers, maybe high equity, maybe they're vacancies, who knows? And then I take a Driving for Dollars list of, say, 300, I will run to the 300 every time because I'm probably going to pull a deal out of that one. Now, guys, if you're creating urgency and you want to get this done in the 2 weeks, this is not optional. You have to do it. In fact, you need to do it every day, probably 2, if not 3 times a day. That's how important it is. This is one of the fastest ways to connect with a motivated seller. End of story. Why? Because you have the extra advantage of using your eyes. And when I see a property that's messed up, nobody goes on there and goes, I want my house to look like crap. I'm just tired of it and I don't want it. I let it look like crap. People don't let their houses go naturally. It's usually some sort of stress in their life, some sort of loss of job. Maybe it can be death in the family. They typically need help. And these problems usually don't get better, they get worse. So if we can catch them early and actually give them some dignity, give them some money, and solve a problem for them, that's where I'm talking about wholesaling. And that's what we need to do. So knowing that is the Driving for Dollars. So I've given you all the basics. So let's kind of get into the money and start digging into this. Because we are going to, I got a $500 budget, which is a luxury item for me. Zach goes, hey, show them how to do it with $500. I'm like, yeah, but Zach, we show them how to do it for free. So that's like a luxury. So remember, we're talking about a short time. We're talking 2 weeks, maybe 30 days, but like 2 weeks you have to press. If you just did everything I told you, you're well on your way to get your first contract. But if we want to get it done in 2 weeks or 4 weeks, we are going to have to really press here. So we've set aside $500. Here's the good news. I ain't spending it all because I'm talking about like guerrilla marketing. Guerrilla marketing is like going at a high intense pace under a very, very minimal budget. And that's what we're going to do. So the next one we're going to do, go over to dmzack.com. End of story. I don't know why I have I got to fix that. Hold on. I got an extra period in there. It's not some sort of hack on there. dmzack.com. So this is where we work through Deal Machine. So we work closely with the owners of Deal Machine. David and his partner have just an incredible product. Matt does incredible training and they do an amazing job. And our business is structured on Deal Machine. And honestly, in 2024, I believe if you had to pick one piece of software, it would be Deal Machine. Why? Because they're starting to do everything inside of it. And you guys know a few months ago, they rolled out the basically skip tracing included into it. Now, they have different levels of membership. I'm just giving you some average prices. I remember I don't own the company. But basically, let me put it up here. Where did I put it? Basically, I think it's around their $129, $130 service. You get like a ridiculous amount of leads per month. It's well over 10,000. You can export them. You can do the Driving for Dollars app. So you can get your government list. You can download them, and then it'll give you a route to drive to put your sticky notes on the doors. And this is what we're talking about bringing in with reverse Driving for Dollars. It's just the art of putting a note on the door saying, got a quick question about your house, put your name, your virtual phone number, and it works. Now, here's the list I want you to do specifically to create this task. Number one, you are going to find you're going to find the code violations, the tax delinquencies, and the pre-foreclosures. Those are the lists that work. You can't do probates. You can't do the eviction list because those people are not there. So this is just another step of doing driving for dollars. But to make this work, you have to do it in combination through dmzac.com. Why? Because this will simplify your route. It will lay out the logistics, and it is much easier to track. Now, not only do you get that with a ridiculous amount of leads, so it's between 10 and 50,000 leads a month, which isn't insane. Most of you wouldn't get through it in that amount of time. Think about this. You can also do skip tracing. So what used to cost you around $2,000 before is included in this price. It's absolutely nuts. We used to spend up between $7,000 and $9,000 skip tracing every month in our company. We use dmzac.com through Deal Machine. We have just obliterated that cost. We bugged David and his team for the longest time. If you can provide skip tracing, just charge a few more bucks and we'll get everyone to come on board because it's an amazing service. And the quality of the data has been great and it's awesome. Now, not only through Deal Machine, you get, guys, I don't know Deal Machine, but I'm just telling you, if I had to pick one software service with everything being offered today, Deal Machine is hands down. Not only can I do the driving for dollars apps, you also have the ability to recruit bird dogs and work within your system. Phenomenal. You can also run comps on there. Phenomenal. You can also create a database with inside a Deal Machine. Phenomenal. And you can put tags on there. You can do everything, and it will do an instant analysis on it. And they put an AI feature in there, which they're working on a daily basis, which, guys, I'm just telling you, man, I'm impressed, and I'm not impressed easily with a lot of software companies. And here's the really cool thing. David and his team, like they founded this from the ground up. They're not looking to sell their software like every other real estate investor. They want to create it. They've been through the trials and errors, and now they're coming out on the other side where everybody trusts them, knows them. And I will tell you, they have some stuff in the works that's going to blow your mind. So we're in the early phases of testing it out. Remember, we use everything in our business to make sure we get deals off it before we ever presented it here. Remember, I don't own these companies. I just work with these companies. And because me and Zach have a good influence in the business, we can talk to the people who own these companies and tell them what you guys want, not what we want, what you guys want. And for that reason, through Deal Machine alone, it's absolutely insane. Also, if you wanted to send one pieces of mail to like an abandoned house or something, you can click a button and it's automatically done for you. There's no other service that's going to do this like for you guys. So honestly, the biggest part of my $500 is probably going to go to like Deal Machine. Why? If I hired an employee and paid for all the data to do this, it cost me between $3,000 and $5,000 a month right off the bat. So if you understand, like $130 is super cheap compared to everything else you do. You also get the mobile app and you can drive around on it and you can do that. And it's super easy to find properties. Guys, I dreamed of an app or something that would do this like 15 years ago. It was just, I couldn't figure out how to do it. So I'm not looking to reinvent the wheel. I'm not a tech guy. David and his team are, and they're absolutely amazing in what they're doing. I'm just telling you, if you want to get urgency and you like the driving for dollars, honestly, you can use Deal Machine as an all-in-one inclusive app. And I know the programs they're working on for the future. Get in now, guys, because it's only going to get better. Now, I still like PropStream. I still like Bats. There's some services we're going to recommend why we do this. But if you had to start me ground zero right now, Deal Machine would be the tippy top of my list. Why? Because they offer the most value. They offer you the most opportunities to organize your wholesaling. And for that reason, you can easily use like a CRM inside of Deal Machine. I still think you should have your own separate CRM, but listen, they're on the way to pretty much nail everything a wholesaler needs. So I believe in what they're doing. Their owners are wholesalers. They do run their own business, and that's why it mixes so well together. And I love the direction they're going. So if you need more information, go over to dmzac.com. They'll show you how to get it. But guys, I'm telling you, if I'm $500, I'm prioritizing Deal Machine right off the bat. Why? because it's the best bang for your buck you're going to get on there, and they're not going to do a bait and switch on you, meaning, okay, you're in 9 day and then it's 500 for the next month. So let me mark that question. So guys, put your questions in there, and I will put up a post to do a live as soon as I'm done here, or you can go over to Wholesaling Houses for Real, and if you're registered there, just click the StreamYard link and you can go ahead and get in line and wait from there. So we've already talked about the driving for dollars, all the free stuff that you can do. So let's move on to the next phase. So now you have to make a choice. How are you going to attack to get your first deal with under 500 bucks? And you're going to have to make a decision. Are you going to do cold calling? Are you going to do SMS? Or are you going to do like driving for dollars? The real answer is a combo. But since we only have 500 bucks, we have to know what our options are available on it. So some of you might take the SMS route. And I got no problem doing that, but I'm going to be honest with you. It's a little challenging in today's market, mostly because the carriers, the T-Mobiles, the Sprints, they're flagging anything that seems even slightly automated. Now, we recommend using launch control through SMS ZAC, but you got to understand that's going to use pretty much all your 500 bucks to do it, and you're still going to need to service the skip trace. So you are going to have to make some choices. I know it's rare for someone to teach you wholesaling on such a small budget, but you're going to have to make a choice, because if you do SMS and you do deal machine, you're going to exceed the $500 limit, and I'd be breaking my own rules. It's like, this guy's teaching you how to find a deal under 500 bucks. Dude, I teach you how to find a deal for free. $500 is a freaking luxury. End of story. So you got to make a choice if you want to do SMS. There's just challenges with the delivery rates right now. I'm praying to God that launch control can solve this, but as of this date, we still have the issue. So I'm not going to use it and put it up here. But if you wanted to do SMS, you would have to gravitate towards that and then do everything else free. And honestly, I think it's I think it's 450 bucks a month, which is a steep price tag, but it's an amazing software. But remember, you still gonna have to skip trace the information. And so if you did that, you'd be around 600 and 450. You're going to be around 570 bucks, which would exceed the $500. That's why I'm not promoting on this one. I was given rules. That goes, don't go over 500 bucks. Okay, perfect. So what's my next line? The fastest and best way is, in my opinion, is if you did cold calling. So if you have the skip trace that it's included in dmzac.com, keep in mind, you're getting rid of the number one expense you have, which is going to be skip tracing. And when you skip trace, if you already have that data, so how can I attack it? It's going to be cold calling. But here's the catch. In 2 weeks, you're going to struggle on a single line dialer. And listen, cold calling's got its own challenges now. It's not the greatest thing in the world, but it still works. And you've got to understand you're going to have to go through a massive amount of data. And so to do that, you are going to have to take down a triple line dialer. Now, you don't have time. 2 to 4 weeks is a very, very short time, especially if you're on the 2-week side of this formula, and we have to make it work. So how do we do it? A triple line dialer. Which one do I use? It's real simple. I'm just going to give you a cost. And there's a ranging how they price it, but zacdialer.com is the best bang for your buck you're going to get. It's our affiliate through Batch, for full disclosure, for you people who cry, go, oh God, he sells affiliates. I don't sell affiliates. I teach you how to use services that get me deals in my account. And affiliate sales are a very, very minor part of any of my income. It's actually, most of that money is just invested back. So we have our own servers. We have our own data. We have our own free course, which we use those funds to support all of you. Most gurus have to take their coaching money in because they got to show off some bling somehow. So why not just take millions of dollars of coaching money, because that avoids you flipping real estate. Don't get me going here. Let's do it. Zac Dialer, between what, let's just call it 135 at the most type of deal. So that'll allow you to connect with 3 phone calls at a time, and the service basically teaches you, it just keeps a rolling count. That way it keeps you busy. Most of the time when you're dialing people, 80% of your time is hangups, dead dial tones, voicemail, stuff like that. A triple line lets you eat through data 3 times as fast. So I don't know how you do cold calling on a short time period. So you have the data through dmzac.com. You have the skip tracing through dmzac.com. So the third one is going to be use a dialer. Now you can use Mojo. There's a lot of them out there. I'm just telling you, Zac Dialer to me is the most affordable one because they go up to $200 to $300 if you go to outside services. And you've got to understand that going into it, how that's going to work. I know what you're saying. Oh, crap, Rick. I don't know if I want to I don't know if I I want to do all that. Well, then don't do it. You got to be honest. Like if you're not going to cold call, don't commit to doing it. So here's what I'm going to do, guys. I'm going to put a copy of the StreamYard link just for simplicity in the comments under my name. And I'm doing it on a first come, first serve basis. So I see a lot of you guys. How the hell do I post a question on here? Guys, make sure you go over to Wholesaling Houses for Real. Soon to be the largest Facebook wholesaling group in the world, and did it in less than 2.5 years. I think that's a testament to you guys, and we don't let any spam in there. So I put the link on there if you guys want to get in line, and we'll go from there. So how much have we spent to this point, guys? Imagine if you did Deal Machine through dmzac.com, and we said $129, and then you did a triple line dialer. So we've spent $240. So we're about halfway there. So how would I add the rest of that money to get a deal as fast as possible? Remember, you still have to work the government list, get all that data, get all that skip tracing included in dmzac.com, and then you attack. You're going to have to attack with driving for dollars, reverse driving for dollars, and basically cold calling through our batch affiliate, zacdialer.com. Everybody understand this. If you have a question, put it in the comments. I'm working through this. And I'm telling you, if I had to prioritize everything I know now, and I had to start over, and someone goes, listen, you're only getting $500, not 501, not 550. You're definitely not getting 10 grand for a BS guru. And this is how we need to do it. So, so the next one, probates. Now, this is probably not going to get a deal done in 2 weeks. You could get it done in 30 days, but I'm here to tell you, probates are very manageable and they're cost effective and they have huge profit. Now, some of you might get lucky and snag something the first 30 days. This is a much longer term play, but why I'm emphasizing to you is because they're cheap to do. There's not a ton of leads. You simply send them a piece of mail and you cold call. So that doubles your ability to connect with them fast. Remember, whoever connects with someone the fastest in a probate usually has the first advantage of getting the deal down. So you're probably thinking, Rick, how did you come up with $50? Here's what I figured. I figured you had 50 leads, and if you mailed them all a letter and the skip traces, including and generous, the worst it cost you is about $1 a lead. Now, if you did that for 10 months, it'd cost you $500. Is it a pain in the butt? Yes, because you have to produce it at home on your own printer and put a stamp on it. But it's simple. You can have 2 full-time jobs and easily do that. And then when they want to reach out to you, they call you. And then you also call them through a what we call a warm call. And that's the best way to do it. I'm telling you, it's hard to spend more than $50. Maybe you'll spend 75, a little bit bigger market. But the reason why I put it in there is to emphasize to you how cheap probates are to do. Now, they're not as quick, but I think in 90 to 120 days, you can get some traction with it. But I've gotten deals pretty quick on them. But it's somewhat, you just have to be extremely consistent. I'm throwing it in there because it's so cheap and it's so dang profitable. I would be irresponsible not giving you that one. So we're working through this. So the next one is, I'm going to set aside $50 for networking. I'm like, where the hell is he going with this? I want you to go find your local RIA meetings. So like I'm in South Florida, so I'm in a stone shot of 3 to 4 meetings. Now, I used to put on these meetings. I think they're wonderful. Who doesn't want to connect with like-minded people that all have a commonality? Remember, these meetings are only a small portions dedicated to wholesaling on them. They're mostly fix and flippers and people want to buy, but that's where you go and do the network. The networking is always done just before the meeting. And then after the meeting in the parking lot or like a local restaurant. And some of my best friends, some of my best business associates all came from meeting at a RIA. I could run you through a list of names. You all would recognize they all sat in my RIA at one point, and it was a great place where we all connected and networked. And for this reason. So how do I come up with $50? I'm going to throw you a little bit of gas money. Most meetings you go to, the first one's free because they want to get you hooked. A membership is usually $20 per meeting or like $100, $125 a year. Well worth it. Just don't buy the crap at the meeting. I know that sounds terrible, but there's one of the reasons I got out of doing those meetings because people want to keep peddling crap. And when I mean crap, like how to work with a contractor, how to be the best fix and flipper. Like, I don't want you guys buying any of that stuff. I'm here to teach you how to do wholesaling, and anything else, in my opinion, is just a dead outright distraction, and you guys don't need that. So if you know networking, $50, maybe you spent $10 on this meeting, $20 on that meeting, and you put $15 of gas in your car. That simple. Very, very simple, straightforward. Now, I'm going to move through some of the basic ones you need to know. I will tell you this, you got to get your water shutoff lifts. These are high priority. There's no guarantee you're going to get this list. It is a free list if you get it. It is a pain in the butt list to get. But remember, you overcome resistance with persistence. At least give it a shot and don't walk away when you get your first no. It's got to be a public company. Next one, arrest records. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go over to freewholesaling.com, or you can search on the Flip with Rick YouTube channel. I've done multiple videos on how to do this. Yes, it is a technique that works. Yes, it's safe. And yes, people that get arrested and get put away for things like DUIs and minor theft, they need to get their houses sold. So I bought a lot of houses like this. It works. I have multiple friends that use this technique only, and the information is very public. Getting a connection with them is the challenging part, and usually via texting or cold calling is the best way to connect with them. So the next one, digital bandit signs. I've taught you guys in grave detail how to do these. You're making posts organically in groups you're already involved in. Don't be a spammer. Don't be like the people coming wholesaling houses for real. They tell me they're going to follow all the rules and they're going to like cooperate. They're not going to spam. And within 5 seconds, they're spamming like crazy and they just get kicked out forever. Spammers there should be a big giant blacklist on everybody who spams, because you just kill your business. I don't know who teaches this crap. This stuff happened early in the 2000s and it's still going on in 2024. It drives me nuts. So they're easy to put these lists together. Digital bandit signs work. And remember, you can harvest traffic off people that spend thousands and thousands of dollars because they're taught by the gurus to outsource everything. And you not only can you do the digital bandit signs, you can do the bandit comments. And it's one of my favorite ways. There's 2 or 3 big franchise companies that buy. I'm not going to say the name, but it's really easy to get leads because there's only a few ways you can respond to the leads. You can call a phone number, you can fill out a landing page form, or you can post in the comments. Half the people post in the comments, and what happens is these investors, they're not in charge of their accounts and nobody manages the comments. That wasn't part of the service. And I can get leads and I can get a DM and connect with people and get on the phone with them right away. Remember, anything online's got to be fast. You don't have days to respond. You got sometimes minutes, and that's how it works. So the next one, which I've gone in grave detail before, but like if I'm looking to get a deal really fast, under $500 in 2 to 4 weeks, I'm going right to the garage sale list. And let me just give you the Cliff Note version. You guys can basically search on Flip with Rick. I teach this technique extensively. So just look garage sale wholesaling on Flip with Rick. I believe I've done 2 or 3 videos on this, but you basically get all the garage sales in your area. Now, the good news is most of them are online. You can go through Facebook groups, Craigslist ads, one of the big ones. And then once you get on there, you get a list. Once you have that list, guys, no, I don't want you to show up and do like the Gary Vee thing where you're trying to buy cheap stuff and sell it for 4 times the price. You already know the real estate is the biggest asset. So once I do that, I'm going to cross-reference the property and find out if it's an absentee owner, which basically means they're a landlord, which means they have a different mailing address. Once I confirm they have a different mailing address, I'm simply going to cold call the owner and say, listen, I see you're having a big garage sale at the property. Now, 1 of 2 things are going to happen. Yeah, I know, like my tenant's moving out, so they're a pain in the butt. Or they're like, I don't even know what you're talking about. I go, well, there's a garage sale. He's like, how can there be a garage sale? My tenants have like a 1-year lease left on it. I go, hey, I'm just delivering the news. I'm just telling you, it's not your garage sale, and I kind of play stupid. And then right there, I have the advantage because I just shared very classified information with the landlord that your tenant is basically bailing on you. 9 times out of 10, people have garage sales because they're relocating. Now, some people have garage sales because they haven't paid their rent. They've they haven't taken care of the property, they trash it, and they do what we call a midnight move out. And they'll typically do a garage sale. So knowing that there is a correlation with garage sales and motivated sellers, you just have to pull that list. The best way to do is cold call. And remember, you're not cold calling the tenant, you're cold calling the owner. And if you give them a piece of advice that they didn't know about, you have an instant bond with them. And that's the best time to buy a property. When there's no income, they find out there's never going to be income again, and they find out the property's trashed. That's what I call a tired landlord, and they're one of my favorite ones to do. Back in the old days, I used to mail to them. We switched over to do cold calling, so much more effective. And you guys can skip trace that through dmzac.com. One of my favorite ways to do stuff. It still works to this day. Now, you want to avoid the chronic garage sale people. What I mean by chronic, there's people that do garage sales as like a full-time job. How do you know? Every Saturday they have a garage sale. So I'm looking for people that just have a garage sale like once a year type of deal at the most. So if you see a chronic one, don't mess with it. Don't go to the garage sale. It's, in my opinion, a waste of your time. You want to connect directly with the absentee owner, and that's the ones you do it. Now, can you do deals with owner occupied? You can, but it's a lot more painful. By then, 9 times out of 10, they've already contacted a realtor or they already have a purchase and sales agreement. And remember, the art of surprise is how we work on doing garage sales. So, guys, if I add up all these numbers, let me just add, I was at 240, and then I added another $100. So we're only at $350. So that leaves us $150 to play with. We don't need to spend it all, but I'm going to use that extra money on gas money. Maybe I use the extra money on bird dogs. Maybe I hire a short-term VA to help you scrape a list so you can just go crazy between cold calling, SMS, and doing reverse driving for dollars. And that's it. To me, $500 is a luxury. I'm sorry. And I want you to understand when we talk about all the different softwares that you can use. I'm giving you my honest opinion. I don't have skin in the game with deal machining. I don't own them. I don't have any type of equity. I just use them. And by the way, I pay for a membership. I actually pay for 2 of them, and we like it. So we've been using it over 3 years now, 3.5 years to be technical. And I didn't really recommend them the first 2.5 years I did it. Why? Because I just wanted to see if it worked. So everybody has an idea. The question is, are you going to fulfill it? I like people that are involved in wholesaling. They know how to do data and they understand coding and apps, and that makes the greatest product. I'm not crazy. People want to sell their software overnight. And you listen, I can tell anyone if you own a software company, I know right away if you're a wholesaler or not by just having a 2-minute conversation with you. And there's some people who talk wholesaling. I'm looking for people to actually do wholesaling. So I want you to go over and do that. So remember, it all starts at freewholesaling.com. And the really cool part is I don't ask for your credit card. I don't wipe you clean. And you can actually get this done with less than $500. I've easily shown you how to do it. How you decide to use that under $150, you could do a short-term VA to help you scrape, maybe and cut a deal with them. If I get a deal, I'll give you 20% or 25% of the profits. Remember, resourcefulness is your number one skill as a wholesaler. I've never seen someone survive in wholesaling that's not resourceful, because when you're limited on the amount of money that you can get a property on, you are limited in what you can do. So if you understand that, go to freewholesaling.com. We'll get you started here. And let's do this. Let's take some questions online, and then we'll jump on the lives. I think we're pretty much full. So if you jump on now, I can't take anyone else. So I'm just trying to be transparent with you guys when we do it. So let's see here. So Risk Taker's got a good point. People with dumpster rentals, but Remember, a lot of times those could be fix and flippers. I'm not sure if that's going to be the best way, but like test it out and let me know what needs to get done with it. So, um, okay. Um, should I? Okay, you guys are busy today. So, Zamarie says, how does the dialer work exactly? Do you have the ability to import numbers in it and call the numbers for you? So, a dialer, you import your list and it goes through, it will dial 3 of the numbers at the same time. It's a little weird. So, if you've never done it, so my experience is mostly in Batch and Mojo, and it rings 3 at a time. Why does it do it? Because the odds of 3 people picking up at the exact same time are slim to none. In fact, if you single dial, you waste more time just sitting around waiting for people to pick up their phone or leaving a voicemail. So it is a piece of software that logistically figures out. So I know what you're thinking. What if all 3 answer? They don't. The first person that picks up, the other 2 get disconnected, and you have options. You can leave voicemail, you can leave a busy signal, and I know what you're saying. He goes, don't you burn people doing it? It's pretty sophisticated how it does it. So it just triples your proficiency and you just get through volume a lot faster. It's very frustrating with a single line dialer. It's doable. But like if you want to get through 10,000 leads, a single line dialer is going to be hard to get through it. So if you know that going into, that's how it works. Horizon says, hey, Rick, do you have a strategy for obtaining the address of probates? Yeah. Go in the probate court and pull the probate docket. And then basically, once you have the PR's name, you just do a skip trace, use dmzac.com, use Batch. It doesn't matter. You can use PropStream and get that skip trace address. The reason why I keep pushing dmzac.com because it's included in your subscription with it. So you don't have to pay 15 cents every time you got to pull a piece of data. And if you're pulling thousands of pieces of data, it gets very, very expensive quick. So remember, 10,000 pieces of data would cost you $1,500 at 15 cents a skip trace. Why not just pay $1.29 and have it included in your services with it? So, make sense? Yes. Where did I miss it? I missed Sandra's comment. So Zach's done a video with the dialers, and so here's the problem doing a video on the dialers is, listen, we're on YouTube. Some of you on Facebook, whatever it is. Any type of like personal information that gets displayed on YouTube, the video gets banned right away. So it's very hard to go through and edit every phone number, every address, every person's name. That's why you're not going to find those videos. So here's what I recommend you do. Go over to ZachDialer.com. I believe you can get a 7-day free trial period and check it out that way. Or just look up through Mojo or anything like that. Look up their multi-line dialers. And there's plenty of videos on YouTube and stuff like that. I can't share them. Zach can't share them because every time we do, we'll spend hours recording it and the video gets taken down. So that's the real challenge with that one. So let's see. Okay. I think we answered all of them. Hey, you guys got a lot of probate questions today. I do other things other than probates, by the way, guys. But Max asks, hey, Rick, I've been waiting to ask you this. What are the best probate cases to go after, and what documents should I look for to avoid with these types of cases? Listen, you're just looking for the most recent open probates. You need to find the PR, and then the first thing is you need to verify if the deceased owned a property in that given county or a surrounding county. Sometimes they own county and property in more than one county. So number one, I'm going to verify that the probate's recently opened. Number two, I'm going to verify the deceased own a property within a given county. Usually look in your county area. Sometimes it's 3 to 5 counties. And then the next step is to get the PR's name and skip trace them. That is it. The type of probate, I'm looking for probate that people own real estate with. Keep in mind, guys, more than half the people in probate do not own any real estate. So it's not a given that they own real estate. But if they own real estate, they have to go through some sort of probate to transfer the title unless they did some major estate planning beforehand, which most people don't. So good question though. Okay, good question. Kev's asked, Rick, how can I work with you on a deal I have under contract with a seller in Ohio? You're going to have to define what a deal is because it can't be marginal. And so basically our system up is we teach you how to do everything that me and Zach were brought up doing for the past 20 plus years, at least for me. And we teach you the basics, the fundamentals on how to find a great wholesale deal. Most gurus make everything so complicated. And after they get years in the business, they try to talk at such a high level. They try to show off all their assets and you guys all get blinged. I called bling to death. And you think, oh, I got to follow that person because it's the only way I'm going to get wealthy. Listen, I love Grant Cardone. I think he's amazing. He's got a crap load of money. But do you really think Grant Cardone's going to make you successful in wholesaling? He's not. He doesn't understand it. He doesn't do it. I know he doesn't believe in it because I've watched his videos. I've been watching Grant since 2010. Do I strive? Like some of the stuff I got, but like, I don't want to be Grant Cardone. I'm not making judgments. I just don't want to work 7 days a week and all I do is talk about work. And remember, being the richest man is subject because you can't take your money with you. So I think it's really cool, the stuff he does, but like, I mean, that guy will sell anything. And I'm not like, I just don't do that. I just think a lot of the stuff, I loved his 10X books. He is a great speaker, but pay 150 grand to have him come to an event. Like, I don't know what you're showing off. I love Grant Cardone. He's not going to teach you wholesaling. I love Tony Robbins. He's not going to teach you how to wholesale. They're just at a level so high. And so many people in wholesaling that have a lot of experience, they try to get so complicated and so above you guys. That's why you struggle. Like they can't connect with you anymore. So I always stay attracted. So how can we do this? Send your deal to sellmypaper.com or send it to support@flipwithrick.com. You better give me specifics and tell me why it's a deal. If it's somewhat marginal, I'm not going to do it with you. So here's what I do. I have a group that we've created, Flip with Rick Plus, which we'll talk about more later. And people join that to get more access to us, to help them problem solve deals. And we connect with them 4 times a week live. That's insane. Plus we answer the DMs. And those people do a ton of deals with me. And we have a program to actually get you free access to Flip with Rick Plus for a very long time. We're going to be sharing that a week from today when Zach comes back. My offer is a no-brainer. There's not one, you call him guru, coach, whatever. I'm not looking to take coaching money. That's for sprinters. That's for people that just go, I'm just going to sell out, take the money now and figure it out later. I actually want to do deals with you. How do I do it? Number one, I got to teach you how to find a deal and teach you the fundamentals of wholesaling. And then after a while, I got to spend a little bit more time to kind of mold you and get you to step up. So our community pushes you and we tell you the truth because you got to be told the truth to get where you want to go. And once you do that, you start getting some deals. I offer a program where I'll actually partner up with you. 50-50, not 80-20, not 90-10, 50-50. And then once you do X amount of deals with me, you're in my posse for as long as I'm doing this. I never say lifetime and evergreen because that's like a BS term that gurus try to sell you on. They always sell their companies and nobody ever fulfills it. Since my name's on this company, my son's name's on the company, I ain't going anywhere. So, and my son's 24, I'm 54, you do the math. So, kind of send it over, support at Flip with Rick, or you can submit it under sellmypaper.com. But like, guys, give me good deals. I don't need marginal deals. If you want marginal deals, there's all sorts of dispo companies out there that will obligate you with an option contract and tell you they can sell it. And they're going to sell 1 out of 10 contracts on you. I don't play that game. I'm going to tell you right up the bat. If the deal works, and if the deal works, I'll show you how we can partner on it. But if the deal doesn't work, I'm going to tell you, you need to get a better price or get out of the contract. I don't have time to waste. You know, there's people that actually collect money up front before you submit a deal. And then they got every excuse in the world why they're not going to give you your money back. I don't understand it. Like, why would you take money from people up front? So I don't do deals with everyone, but the ones I do a lot of deals with. And if you guys have ever met Corey, Ace, Jay, like I have a long list of people and we just love doing deals together because we all make money together. And I have skill sets that a lot of you guys don't. And some of you guys have great connections in your local markets and you know your markets. And that's what I want to do it with. So don't forget about that. And we'll go from that. I already posted that one. Okay. Last one. We're going to jump on the live. Sandra says, are you guys doing research on these homes before using the dollar or winging it and looking it up after the answers if they're interested? You got it. Do not waste your time comping, researching. Whenever you go into a cold calling mode, especially a multi-line dialer, you are just hunting. You are not writing contracts. You're not pricing stuff out. You are in disqualification mode. So if I contact 100 people, probably 85 will either they won't answer, they'll tell me to go take a flying leap off the building, or tell me to take them off their list. I got to get rid of those before I can find the ones that actually want to work with me. So I'm in a hunting mode. I hunt. And then when I get someone who wants to talk, I have to I got to slap my face a little bit and go, okay, now I got to go from disqualifying to qualifying. And if you understand that in cold calling, it's a much different relationship. Sandra, I don't want you wasting time researching every property before you call. That's what most people do. It's a huge mistake because if it takes you 10 to 15 minutes to comp every property, which is way too long, if I'm going to call 500 people, it's going to cost you like 5-6 hours of just researching on the computer, and it's not going to make you any money. The reason people do that is because they want to feel comfortable. They want certainty. Wholesaling is the opposite of it. You're going to have to be uncomfortable. You're going to have to put yourself out there, and you're going to have to take a risk in life. Why do I tell you the truth? Because God knows no one else is going to tell you the truth. Me and Zach are always going to tell you the truth. So you need to know. So those of you asking about Zach, he is recovering. It's a slow, painful process, but we don't have his voice back yet. So we're hoping by this weekend he feels a lot better. So he's healing. So if you guys have messages, send them to me. If Zach's not responding, you know why. We just need him to recover. He's rarely ever down, but he had some minor surgery on his throat and he can't speak for 7 to 10 days. So you get my fat old voice on here. So that's where we're going with it. So let's jump on. Let's answer some lives. Let's see here. Who did I bounce around with it? Juan, what's going on, man?
Hey, what's going on, Rick? How you doing?
Juan,
Hello?
I can't hear you.
Hello, can you hear me now? Hello?
Okay, let me come back to Juan and see if I got a problem with this. Let's see. Keelan, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. I can hear you.
Why I can't hear you guys? Hold on. I can't hear you. Hold on. Let's see here. Let's see. Okay, hold on. Let me fix. I got some sort of. Give me 1 second here. God damn it. See, you guys know I'm not the tech guy. So some reason I can't hear you guys. Testing.
Until you
There.
can hear.
Mic volume.
I feel bad for
Okay,
Rick.
I got the figures.
I feel bad for Rick.
Uh-oh. Rick's messing around. Okay. Keelan, give me 1 second. I'll come back to you. So let me figure this out. Damn it. It's always a challenge with technology. Okay, hold on 1 second. Let me bounce over here.
Nothing in my life.
Well, that speaker works. Okay, I am having some minor technical difficulties, but okay, I'm going to drop one more random person on here and just see if it's like crazy. Kenya, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me, Rick?
So I see your little voice thing, and I'm not hearing you guys, and I am not sure why. But here's what I'm going to do is I'm going to boot everybody out and give me 5 minutes to come back in. I'll answer some questions online, and I will try to figure this out. So, crap. Don't get mad if I kick you out. I'm just trying to fix this. It's not personal. Hold on. Echo. Ah,
Taga
okay.
ini kiribu ini. Oh yeah, yeah.
Okay, I'm just cleaning out here. So let's answer some questions why I have somebody else smarter than me figure this stuff out, because I don't know why I can't hear you guys. It's crazy. Okay, let me clean this out here. And so you all can hear, but if I can't hear, it's really hard to answer the question. So do me a favor right now. Just if you have a question, type it in there. Let me work through this because it's live. We have like little issues here, and we just got to work through them. So Max, here's how you confirm if they own real estate and probate. Is you actually have to cross-reference the property appraiser site. So there's nothing. Some states do specify real estate owned, but like in Florida, they definitely don't do it. So the best way to do is just do it that way. So I don't know. Maybe StreamYard's not working. I don't know. Okay. Well, I'll tell you guys. Let me try. I don't want to jump out of this because I can never get back in it. Let's see, audio. Test. I know I can hear myself here. Well, you know what? Let me try this. Worst case scenario, I will try to tune my phone in. We'll figure this out. So hold on. See, this is where I miss Zach because now he's good in wholesaling. He understands tech stuff, and let's figure this out. Flip with Rick. Guys, put in your questions. I'll still answer them. Like I don't like to get into Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. You all can hear me, and so I'm gonna bring I'm gonna bring on Juan first, and then Kaylin, and I gotta listen through another device. So I'm not a tech guy. I'm a wholesaler, but I don't like I'm not hold on here. Hold on.
What's up, Rick?
Okay, Juan, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me? It's probably delayed.
Yeah, I can hear you. So you're gonna have to ask one specific question and then get off, and then I'm gonna answer you because that's the only way I can hear it right now. Sorry.
Okay, perfect. So I have a question about the mailers. I did actually finish the course. So I saw that it was catered more towards doing appointments when I finished the whole thing. I'm doing virtual, so that's my question. How do I approach that? And yeah, I'll wait for you to listen to this question.
I got it. Okay. So there's a little delay, guys. So we're just going to get through it. So you guys on the live, just ask one specific question. I'll answer it. I apologize. I'm not a tech guy, but like, let's not waste time on the stream. I don't do a big production staff because I am wholesaling. I'm not in production of like trying to give you guys the most perfect teleprompter videos. I find that so cute when people do that. It's like, remember I told you, don't worry about what other people think about you or say. Just do it. And so I'm just going to do it. I don't really care if you think how fancy my production is. So one specifically, yes. You can easily do direct mail. Local is always easier and more precise and faster for natural reasons because you know the local market. So can you use that exact system and do it virtually? 100%. The biggest risk is you have to find and research the right market for you. My favorite way to do it is a combination of both local and virtual when you do it. And if you do it that way, because you always have localized market knowledge where you live. So all real estate is going to be local. There's no way around it. It's one of the reasons why one company cannot dominate the United States in real estate. Although Wall Street's trying to do it. So if you understand that, yeah, you can easily do this virtual. In fact, that's my favorite way to do direct mail is virtual because I can go to other companies with that. So you can take the mailing mastery specifically with RS and easily adapt to it. So I don't know if you spoke to Corey, but reach out to him. He can give you more details on it. But like you got to understand, direct mail works in local is always easier. Like I'm not even going to lie to you on it. But the problem is like those of you that live in like San Fran, Manhattan, Miami Beach, Los Angeles,
I live in
you
Los
really
Angeles.
have to go virtual for the most part. Doesn't mean you can't still look for stuff locally, but that's my preferred way to do that. So I'm going to jump over the next one. Remember, I got a little bit of delay, so don't like tear me up. And Keelan, what's going on?
What's going on? I actually had a question. I do the reverse driving for dollars and driving for dollars. And I was seeing, do you just pick random zip codes or is it like a specific criteria that area has to fit so that it's best for driving for dollars or reverse driving for dollars?
Okay, so we're talking about driving for dollars. Not so the reality. Here's all I look for. Like, don't complicate this. Number one, look for areas of houses that you want to do your wholesaling. Like, don't go drive $1 million blocks and expect to have success wholesaling. You want to stick in an area what I call like the blue collar area. These are people that go to work every day. Your mechanics, your line workers, your teachers, your janitors, everyone, and they just want to come home to a good, safe house and like live the American dream. And the reason why you want to do those is because those houses have the highest success rate in wholesaling. Why? Because they're the most popular product and they have the most demand. Is there more intention on these houses than ever? Yes. So the first thing I'm going to start is look at the average median price of an area I'm going. You can go by zip code on it, but if you're doing it locally, just you guys know the neighborhoods to look on. So I don't want to go in like really rough neighborhoods. I started in really rough neighborhoods. They're very, very small margins, high drama, and they're a pain in the butt. So I would just take like a map. You can do this all online. You can actually do it in dmzack.com. You can do it in batch and prop stream, and you can draw everything out. By the way, I forgot to tell you guys the deal machine. You can actually do virtual driving for dollars. We had staff members doing this all last week. And when we were in Dallas, Zach did it. And we actually, we took down one deal and the other one had potential with it. And I always knew you could do it. I just know like how to do it because I've never personally done it. I did it old school wise. So the short answer to yours is find blue collar neighborhoods. Make sure you know the average median price before you drive them because you don't want to be in the wrong area. And too rough of an area is they're painful. They might be cheap, but they are painful. So I want to look where someone's looking to get like a starter house, someone that's just getting like a family. So like the American dreams are becoming very unaffordable. So if you can find like nice 2-bedroom, 2-bath, 3-bedroom, 2-bath in like a good area that's below your average median price, that's where I would start in the driving for dollars. And remember, if you're doing driving for dollars, we're coming into like we're just coming out of spring and summer. So the landscaping should be the number one thing you view. After that, boarded up windows, vacant houses, blue tarp roofs. And one of my favorite are knocked over mailboxes. One of the most popular ones to do it. So Keelan, I appreciate it. I'm sorry for like the short answers, but the way I'm working on technical, I'm a wholesaler, not a YouTube expert type of deal. So okay, let me bounce around. Remember, guys, like one question. We'll just keep working through and help out who we can with you. Kenya, I had you on deck there. You got a question?
Okay, yeah. How's it going? Thank you very much, Rick, and I hope Zach is getting better and better. I remember him in my prayers. Yeah. Just a quick one. I think I already sent you the deal on in Ohio. I was one that sent a message, Canals Properties, about a deal I had under contract with a homeowner. He's got an area review of 300,000 plus, and got it under contract for 157,500. So I just sent a message to support at flipwithfreak.com. So yeah, that's just one. Secondly, I've been doing quite a lot with driving for dollar using deal machine. So I'm just having a little challenge, hitting targets and all that. Maybe it's because of the market that I'm driving in, or maybe I need to, have a change of market, because I just listened to your response to, the gentleman that you spoke with now. So I think I'm focusing on, challenging markets with very, very low margins and all that. Maybe I need a change. Rough markets. I think I've been doing more of rough markets. I need to make a change. So yeah, that's just my question now, so I can give chance for others, man. Thank you very much, Rick. I appreciate it, sir. God bless.
Okay. So first of all, I will look at your email probably tonight, because I got 2 more meetings after this, and I will look. Dude, guys, I just let you know my favorite thing in the world is like to do real estate deals, specifically wholesaling. So if it's got merit, I'll give you like a quick answer. I usually don't answer these emails. I have 2 other employees that work with me, but we're a little I got somebody off today, and then I got Zach obviously recovering. So I appreciate your prayers and thoughts for Zach. He's recovering. He's not happy, but like it is what it like. We just get through it. Just like wholesaling, there's some stuff we got to do that just is not overly pleasant, but we have to get to it to get to that end task of putting the cash in our account. So as far as like your deal machine and your counts, I'm not sure specifically if you're not getting any deals from it, or you're not getting a high enough count volume. So what you have to do is kind of come up with a schedule, and you got to shoot a target goal whenever you do driving for dollars, because if you don't, you're just kind of do it like on your own terms. So if you have a goal to get 300 or 500 leads in a week, in a bye week, or a month, just set it out. And if you're not getting close to it, you're just going to have to turn up your activity, and you're going to have to find more markets. So I apologize I can't communicate directly with you, but I will look at your deal, and then maybe I'll give you a tip or two on Deal Machine as far as getting through that. So let's see here. I can't answer that question. So Ian says, I have a land deal under contract, but it's mostly wetland. How do I get about finding buyers for something like that? You're just going to need a heck of a lot of volume. Listen, the less desirable the land is, the more of a niche buyer you're going to have to find. And land takes more time than a regular single family home. On average, 30 to 90 days. But it's just like the fire damage properties. They just take more time. Why? Because it's a smaller niche list of cash buyers, just to give you a heads up on it. So I don't know what some of you guys are talking about. I think it's just kind of funny. But okay. I'm going to shoot on 1 or 2 more questions. Remember, just one question, because I'm having some audio issues and it's delayed. So I'm going to bring on Joshua. Just give me a direct question. I have the list is delayed, and then I'll answer you back there. What's up?
How are you? I wasn't asking. I'm just learning the information, learning about wholesale. I'm just getting started. I'm here in Austin, Texas. And I see the stuff that you're talking about, but is skip tracing and making calls like the most important thing, just calling people and just finding leads? Or is it just marketing and talking to other real estate investors?
Okay, so welcome to the group. You're in the right place. So when you say what's the most important thing, I'm going to give you an order of importance. It's important you understand this. Number 1, the most important thing is you connect with motivated sellers. A lot of people like to keep busy. I learned a new word. It's called, they called this back in the Romans time because I do a lot of Stoicism study, and they call it the old word for someone that was busy. And remember, busy equals broke. They call it spuddling. And I go, man, that's actually a perfect word. Spuddling is when someone seems like super busy. Um, you ever heard the terminology? I have somebody within the family, not my side of the family, but they always go, I'm so busy, I haven't been able to sit down all day. The hell, what the hell does that mean? What they're trying to tell you is, I just want you to recognize I'm busy. I am so busy. I give you people zero credit for being busy. When you say busy to me, it means you're broke. Why? Because busy means I don't know what I'm doing, so I run around with my head cut off like a chicken, and it just fulfills me. It feeds my ego, and it's go from that. So where I'm going with this is when you're doing wholesaling, you have to focus on finding motivated sellers. And what people do to do spuddling and they keep busy is they just find sellers. There's an endless sea of people who want to sell their house. Here's the difference. We only look for people that need to sell their house. The people that want to sell their house, they need to go to a realtor, and I don't want to waste my time with you. How do I avoid not talking to people who want to sell their house? Stay off of MLS. You have no business being there new. If you want to buy a course, everyone will tell you how to connect with realtors and MLS. It is not a newbie strategy, and you're going to drive yourself crazy. You got to find off-market properties. They have to be off-market to get good wholesaling deals. It's not a rule. It's my rule. Why? Because I'm all about probabilities. We're talking about doing a deal in 2 weeks with under $500. The next one is you have to be direct to the seller. There is no other way. Communicating to a realtor means you are purely transactional. So unless the realtor has a real piece of junk property, which most of them don't, and nobody's made an offer, you are going to be put in a line, and whoever makes the highest bid is going to win. You can't get a good wholesaling deal that way. So if you understand that, that's why we teach you to go over to freewholesaling.com so you can connect with people that are motivated. Why do I have you start with government lists? Because number one, I'm not going to sell you a $5,000 or $10,000 program that's going to steer you wrong. Most of these gurus are going to steer you towards doing direct mail or doing like a pay-per-click, and you are going to get killed doing that. So after that, once you understand where to focus and shoot your arrow, you do a lot more damage in this business. I'd say 70% of wholesalers out there, they're shooting their arrows all over the place, and they want to know why they get no success. Is because you're wasting your time. So you hit the nail on the head. Marketing is the key. You have to master marketing because that is your vehicle to connect with motivated sellers. Without that expertise in marketing, you're going to get hurt. So go over to freewholesaling.com. It's the first thing we teach you. We teach you how to market. Now, you can spend money marketing, which most people fail at the beginning because they don't know what they're doing. They don't know what they're looking for, and they don't know how to talk to sellers. We teach you how to go through government lists to find the most motivated sellers and then have you go through like the wholesaling journey. Once you can get a few deals, one deal under your belt, let's start with one. Then you can replicate it again. And by the time you get your third one, you can start looking at even paying for some services, putting some money back in your business and getting it done. But if you go the guru way, you got to invest 10 grand in them. You got to invest 10 grand in marketing. And then if you did a deal for 3 to 5 grand, they call you a success. That's not the reality of the business. I could make everybody look like a rock star if you paid me 10 grand and you go, listen, I'm putting 10 grand in marketing, because most of the people are still going to fail. I already know. I've been doing this 21 years. I'm just telling you. So once you master marketing to find motivated sellers, once you master that part, the rest is actually easy, but you have to put in your time and you have to go through the wholesaling journey. And I've never met a wholesaler that is very good at what they do that has not mastered marketing. In fact, that marketing like voodoo is all used against you when it comes to gurus and wholesaling, the fix and flip business, all that other stuff, just huge distractions. Let me teach you advanced stuff. There's a reason I stick to the fundamentals, guys. It works. If you ever played football, you have to learn how to block. You've got to learn how to tackle, and you've got to learn how to run a route. Without that, you can't be taught any advanced techniques. I find most gurus spend all their time on highly advanced techniques. And for that reason alone, you guys get overly confused and you get sold the dream. So focus on marketing. So some people like cold calling, some like to do SMS, some just do driving for dollars, some do a combo of reverse driving for dollars. Those initial combinations will get you started. And today's video is all about teaching how to do it within $500. I've taught you the priority. If I had to spend it today and I was down and lost my $500, that's exactly how I'd spend it. I don't have an agenda on you guys. If I had an agenda, I'd sell you a $10,000 program. But I'm here to give you the truth. And if you get the truth, you can get anything figured out. So I appreciate your information. I got room. Let's do another one here. Remember, one question. I promise you I'll fix this soon enough. So let's take, I got no ladies on. Oh, no. Pamela's not connected, so I can't do that. So let's take, where is he? Mackie there asked me one question. And
I appreciate you.
My delay.
Come on here. So I guess my question would be, I have two questions, but I'm going to try to keep it just to one. Is follow up. Any tips on follow up? I'm working with. I've got like 7 or 8 people that are motivated, and I know will sell. It's just a matter of like when. How often should I follow up? What's too, I guess, what is being a nuisance and what is being, I guess, good at follow up. That's kind of what we've struggled with the most. I got really close on one deal, and driving for dollars has been kind of the thing that's helped us the most. So yeah, I guess follow up. Any tips with follow up, like a sequence, or what's the best way to go about it?
So actually, a really good question. So I'm going to kind of walk you off a slippery slope here. So remember, I said nothing's guaranteed in wholesaling, and you're going to have to take a risk. There's not like a here's the exact formula to do follow up. So first, you got to start with common sense. So I tell you guys, you should all have a CRM. I prefer Podio because it's simple and straightforward. You can make it as customized as you want. You can also use Deal Machine and PropStream to use some of the internal stuff. But to me, I use those strictly for marketing. So when I have a follow-up, I have to prioritize. Number one, what did the seller tell me? Like, what did we agree to follow up? 2 weeks, 30 days, whatever. I want that in my notes. And then number two, how close am I getting a deal and then making a decision? You have to prioritize it. So you're going to have extremely very motivated at the top. Those type of people need to be followed up daily. Then you're going to go, you can do highly motivated. That's usually within 3 to 7 days. And then motivated, which is maybe 7 to 10 days. And then somewhat motivated, which is going to be dropped down to 30. And then the crap kickers, the ones that can never make a decision, but I know the house is motivated, I'm going to put them between 30 and 90 days. So number one, you have to prioritize. I'm going to let you in a little secret doing this 21 years. You'll never get this perfect. You have to guess somewhat. Now, here's the challenge. I'm going to give you 2 techniques you have to understand on follow-ups. Number one, how do I follow up without sounding like a stalker? I've had that told to me. Rick, are you stalking me? Like, this is getting ridiculous. Here's the catch though, Mac, is there's a fine line between stalking and not following up enough. And the problem is you occasionally have to push the line to find out where you are. So here's what happens. If you call people too much and harass them, they don't want to work with you. And you can lose deals. I've lost plenty doing that. But the rule of thumb in wholesaling is most people do not follow up enough. And that's how you lose deals. So you're going to have to push the line, and every now and then you're going to get corrected and you might lose a deal. I'd rather you lose one or two deals on too much follow-up than you lose 10 deals because you don't follow up at all. So you got to push that line. So let me give you a little tip to push the line. There's people like, I go, damn, man, they need to make a decision this week. Like everything's there. Remember, you're a guide. And when people don't make a decision with you, it's one of 2 things. And one, they don't completely trust you. And they haven't quite told you the truth. And they keep making up other excuses to get by with you. Number 2, you did not precondition them enough to have them make a decision. Now, if you do it in the beginning, they kind of feel guilty because they don't want to break their own promise. But the reality is sometimes some people just aren't ready timing wise. And I understand that. The only way you can test that is with follow-up. So let me give you a little tip on follow-ups. To avoid looking like a stalker, which I'd rather you be called a stalker than a non-follower-upper. So if you have someone like, crap, I've been calling them almost every day, this is getting a little weird. Instead of calling up and say, listen, are you ready to move forward with the deal? Call and ask them a question to an answer they already know. It is a precursor. You're preconditioning, and say, listen, John, I'm so sorry for calling you. I know I spoke to you yesterday. I go, but I forgot. Is that a 3-bedroom or a two bedroom, or is that a 2-bathroom or a 1-bathroom? They're gonna like, of course it's 3 bedrooms, Rick. Yeah, John. Listen, why I got you on the phone? Like, how's everything going? Is there anything else I can help answer for you? And then you can kind of close them off and ask them at the last question, do you want me to go ahead and I can swing by this afternoon and go over the paperwork with you? See, by asking them a question they already know the answer to, you get them what I call an exceptional condition, meaning they're already in the yes mode. And once I do, I go, listen, why do you have you here? I go, do you want me to bring that paperwork by today? And I just shut my mouth like that. Now, if you call them like every day, hey, listen, Rick, are you ready to do the deal now? Hey, Rick, are you ready to do the deal today? Like, dude, are you like, you're getting a little, you're starting to freak me out. So ask them a question they already know the answer to. I learned this from my grade school teachers because they told me after the fact they did this to me and I was too stupid to understand. It's how you warm people up and condition them. So I rather you be on the stalker side, and I'm talking about a safe stalker. So how you get around stalking is ask questions you already know the answer to. It conditions people, and it's not like, because when you call and go, hey, you ready to do the deal yet? They get very like, you're pressuring me. It's too much. Remember, you are a guide. So what does a guide do? If you want to get your client's attention, your seller's attention, or say you're on Yosemite and you're on a trail and you got a group of people, I put name tags on them. I go, hey, John, hey, Sally, hey, Sue, hey, listen, do you guys see those rocks over there? They already know the answer to it. You're just trying to get them to regroup and get their attention on you. And the last thing is use the crap out of the seller's name. People respond to their name. Just like everybody on here, if I look, I look at the people like waiting online between, well, Pamela's not connecting there, but Keelan, AK, Joshua, Jose Juan, everybody. It's like when you hear your name, your head just snaps. You don't even have a choice. You just whip your head around. When someone calls my name, I do it. Guys, we're somewhat like dogs like that. We respond. So if you use her name. So Mac, use that technique. And I'd rather you follow up more than less, because there's a lot of wholesalers like, I don't want to follow up. I'm going to lose the deal. Then ask them the question they already know the answer to, and it will help you out phenomenally. So, so here's a good question. DeAndre asked, should they always commit the same day you give an offer? I mean, it's a fairy tale, isn't it? Like a guru will tell you, but like it doesn't always work. So the biggest predetermining factor is if you precondition them. So if you guys don't know how to precondition, it's real simple. It's a statement that says, listen, hey, John, we're going to sit down probably 30, 45 minutes. I'm going to get to know you. I'm going to get to know some details on the house. And at the end of the conversation, you'll have a decision to make. And it's simple as this. Rick, I love how you work with me. I love what you're offering. And it's an affirmative yes, I want to move forward. Or Rick, I just don't like it. And it's a hard no. Either way, I'll respect your decision, and I promise to help you out to sell the house regardless of your answer on that. But I need a yes or no answer. Is that fair to ask you? Get them the head nod and say yes, and then call them. People do not like to be called liars. And since there's only 2 of you there, when he goes, well, I don't know, I got to think about this. Go, listen, John, remember, we agreed before this. I've given you my time. I want to help you out. But like, there's always a reason why they're not moving forward. Either they're uncomfortable with you, they don't trust you, or you have not given a good enough solution to solve the problem. Or the worst one is they're not a motivated seller and they've wasted your time. And I've already preconditioned you guys to avoid that at all costs when you do that. So you have to understand and go from there. So Justin asked, When calling Zillow for rents to find buyers, should I call house only or apartment? I wouldn't call on apartments. It's kind of a waste. Condos, townhomes, yes. Townhomes and houses is what I would stick to. So I did. I called your name out loud there. So, so guys, if you embrace today's topic, you can get a deal with under $500. Actually, a lot of you guys get deals for free. So I prove my point every day for the last 4 years. It doesn't require some expensive guru. It requires to get the truth on wholesaling. So if you want to learn more about the truth, make sure you go over to freewholesaling.com. As usual, guys, if you got value from today, make sure you are subscribed to this and you smash the like button. And guys, don't forget that, what was I going to say? Don't forget, Flip with Rick Plus. We have a very, very, very deep waiting list. We're trying to find the people that really want to be in there and truly want help. And so we've been through this so many ways. I've briefly written to Zach, and I've been instructed to push a button. I think it's tonight or tomorrow morning. And when I do, it's the first, I think, 10 or 12 people we let in, and that's it. And the reason why we're doing it, we want to find the people that really want the benefit of the Flip with Rick Plus. Remember, you get the 2 live events, the 4 lives, and the DMs. It's really cool. And when I'm done with this live, I'm going to flip over to Flip with Rick Plus and spend some more time with those people. Guys, I want to help everybody out for free. Flip with Rick Plus is not a requirement. It is just a luxury to get more questions answered. And those people get a little bit more conditioned to do deals. And those are most of the people I do deals with. I do deals with you guys on freewholesaling.com. It's just some of you guys don't know what you're looking for. And you just need you need a community that will surround you and help you, point you in the right direction. Listen, wholesaling's easy. Most humans make it super hard. Gurus, in my opinion, don't tell you the truth of what you're getting into. And that's the difference between how me and Zach teach and everybody else in the world. But that's my opinion. And so if you guys want to join me in Flip with Rick Plus, make sure you look for that email. If you're in Flip with Rick Plus, I will jump over there in about 5 minutes, and I'll see you then, guys.